25.
There we go. Yep. Daniel chapter 7.
Verse 25. Right?
Verse 25.
Okay.
Now, brothers and sisters, when we say we're talking about a government here, okay? All right? This is a nation of people here that's doing this. Come on, verse 25.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High,
and
shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws.
Times and laws. Come on.
And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times and the dividing of time.
Okay, so we know that the enemy is working through people to carry out his plans, right?
Absolutely.
Right? So this authority was given to a people to change what, prophetess?
Time. And times. And dividing of time.
Right. And laws, right?
Right. And so the dividing is like when we hear the scripture rightly dividing.
Right.
That means rightly interpreting.
Right.
So we won't even be able to interpret the times and the seasons according to the Most High because of their input.
Right, because of their input and being thrown off, right?
Right.
We have two calendars, brothers and sisters, all right? We have a Gregorian calendar, the world's calendar, and we have the Most High's calendar, the Enoch calendar. We're going to go into that today while we go according to the Enoch calendar because it's what the Most High set up. But people on the earth have changed the days and times. Right. Who changed the Sabbath to Sunday?
And no one questions it.
Did the Most High change it? No.
And it's so interesting because we'll quote that he changes not.
Right.
But every time we look around, something has changed.
And we accept it. Yeah. That's our fault. We accept it.
And it's not supported by Scripture. It's not supported by Scripture. It was never supported by so-called, what their people so-called Jesus, but we call Yeshua. He worshipped on the Sabbath. He was found in the synagogue on the Sabbath.
On the Sabbath,
He tells you clearly, don't think that I have come to abolish the law, but to fulfill it like we should be fulfilling it.
If you live according to this Bible.
Absolutely.
Look, Christ said something to say about them. He knew who they were. Right? Go to Matthew chapter 12. Matthew chapter 12, verse 34 through 37. Okay? Look what Christ said.
Oh, generation of vipers.
Oh, generation of vipers.
Referring back to Genesis when we were looking at the serpents. Oh, generation of vipers. How can ye, being evil, speak good things? For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things. And an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things. But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment.
In the day of what?
In the day of judgment.
Come on.
For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned.
Hold it right there. He was talking to the scribes and the Pharisees.
Yeah.
The same people that was in Isaiah. These prophets that speak lies. These lying children. Because they off. They not following according to what the Most High said.
As well as, just like our title today says, author of confusion. When you were, we were at the reference talking about the pens and how they ink and pen or scribe things into our documents. Isn't that authoring something?
Yes.
When you write something out, author of confusion.
Yes.
So you, again, oh generation of vipers, are just like your father, Beelzebub. You have the same characteristics.
Same. Matthew 23. Go to Matthew 23. Same characteristics. You said it, probably. You hit it right on the nail. Matthew 23.
What verse?
Verse 33. Christ. Now, Christ is enraged. This is Christ talking to them.
Ye serpents, you generation of vipers, how can you escape the damnation of hell?
Whoa.
Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them you shall kill and crucify, and some of them shall you scourge in your synagogue.
In your what?
In your synagogue.
Wow.
And persecute them from city
to city.
And we know that with that really who was a part of that? Saul, before he became Paul in the New Testament. He was a part of chasing them down from city to city.
Christ is seeing this before time. He letting them know this is what y'all gonna do. Look, the synagogue, they're supposed to be in the church, right?
Right. That's right.
What did he say?
And some of them shall you scourge in your synagogues. Well, we can start from the beginning. Wherefore, verse 34, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them you shall kill and crucify, and some of them you shall scourge in your synagogues, and persecute them from city to city.
Now, you know what? Christ put the exclamation point on everything. He did. But we have a holy record to follow, brothers and sisters, and we refer back to the book of Enoch. Christ said, just like it was in the days of Enoch, so shall it be in the last days. We're in the fourth quarter. We're in the last days.
That's right. The 11th hour, however you want to interpret it.
You can't change it. Your unbelief is to no effect. It don't change prophecy, brother.
It is so powerful. If you have ever even been in a church or heard anything, you know what the times are, because it's like the world is like graffiti writing on the wall. It's so obvious. It's right in your face. How could you not see it? Just like last night we were talking in our Sabbath class, and they were letting us know that people are now having RFID parties, chip parties, where they're being chipped. And they're partying like it's a good thing to take this ID in their body. They're having chip parties.
Well, we want to put that warning out there. Don't let no one stamp you with nothing or take a chip on nothing. Okay? Don't allow it. Yeah. It's not a party.
It's not a party. But that's what they do. And if you can realize, if you can see the craziness even in that, you will understand how they ease things into make it normal and make you accept it. They start with a party.
They do. Hey, brothers and sisters, we're going to go into the meat of the lesson now. Of course, with the Wake Up Lost Tribe Study Hall in the Gathering of Christ Church, we use all of our records to edify the body. We're getting ready to go into the book of Enoch. All right. The Bible gives validity. Salaki. It gives validity to the book of Enoch. Okay. We just read in Genesis that the Most High took him for a good reason. Okay. So if you have the book of Enoch, get ready to come into the book of Enoch with us. We're going to get some edification. All praise is due to the Most High. Matter of fact, we're going to go into the book of Enoch. And we're going to read chapter 73 and chapter 74. But for your reading in your own time, brothers and sisters, I encourage you to read chapter 72. Okay? But we're going to read chapter 73 and chapter 74, the book of Enoch. And we're getting an understanding on the calendar of 364 days. Okay?
What chapter?
We're going to start in chapter 73, Prophet. Let me get here.
All right. That's really good. It's so important that we understand the seasons that we're in. That's one of the biggest deceptions and confusion that we have right now today. Right. That's one of our largest confusion. Right. Even in the wake up, it's a struggle. You have to get your mind changed.
Right. Remember now, see, look, when the tempter came in the garden, he threw everything off course. We was edified with that understanding last night. Adam and Eve could see the Garden of Eden because they could see in the spiritual. When they sinned, it closed their spiritual eyes. That's why there's a veil over our eyes now, brothers. That's why we can't see stuff. But spiritual people can see things, right? All right? So look, we're waiting for the prophets to get there. The book of Enoch is records that our forefathers left for us, and it's to be revealed for us in these last days. Okay? It's for us. A part of our understanding, a part of our edification as a body. Okay? So we're going into Enoch chapter 73. And calm, prophetess, once you get there.
There we go. Oh, okay. I was there. I'm sorry. Alrighty. Just first, we're going to have a few verses. Beginning at 1?
Beginning at verse 1, chapter 73.
And after this law, I saw another law dealing with the smaller luminary.
The smaller luminary. Now, the stars and all of that that's up in the sky is called luminaries, brothers and sisters. Come on.
Which is named the moon.
Which is named what?
The moon.
The moon. Come on.
And her circumference is like the circumference of the heaven.
Now, isn't it strange that the Enoch is referring to her as her? The moon?
Right.
Come on.
And her chariot in which she rides is driven by the wind. And light is given to her in definite measure. And her rising and setting change every month.
Every month.
And her days are like the days of the sun. And when her light is uniform or full, it amounts to the 7th part of the light of the sun. And thus she rises. And her first phase in the east comes forth on the 30th morning. And on that day, she becomes visible.
Come on.
And constitutes for you the first phase of the moon on the 30th day, together with the sun in the portal where the sun rises. So
right there it says the portal, right? The sun and the moon phase in and out through portals around our planet, around this sphere that we live on. Come on, prophets.
And the 1/2 of her goes forth by a 7th part, and her whole circumference is empty without light.
Circumference is round.
Yeah, the fullness of
Come on.
roundness. With the exception of 1/7 part of it, and the 14th part of her light. And when she receives 1/7 part of the half of her light amounts to 1/7 part and the half thereof. And she sets with the sun, and when the sun rises, the moon rises with him, and receives the half of 1 part of light.
All right, so now that is explaining on why sometimes that you look up in the sky at night sometime, and you can see, like in the day, the sun and the moon out together. You can see them out there sometimes together. It's rare, but you can see that because it's already written of. Enoch saw it. All right, come on.
And in the night and in the beginning of her morning, in the commencement of the lunar day. The moon sets with the sun and is invisible that night with the 14 parts and the half of one of them. And she rises on that day with exactly a 7th part and comes forth and recedes from the rising of the sun. And in her remaining days, she becomes bright in the remaining 13 parts.
Okay, so this is giving you a description of what the moon does, how she receives a light, how she reflects off of different days, and how she's in conjunction working with the sun.
Right.
Okay.
And why you have a slither sometimes, so different portions, and those are the parts that he's talking about. And so when the moon comes out, it's sometimes you don't see a full moon all the time. You see it in parts.
Come on, prophetess. That's right. Praise the Most High. That's right. So the prophet just explained that. That's why you see a half moon or a slither moon or this and this and this and that. Okay? This is why. All right, now, here we go. Chapter 74.
And I saw another course.
Enoch saw another course now. Come on.
A law of her, and how according to that law she performs her monthly revolution.
A monthly revolution. The number of days is the same amount of days every year. Okay? The sun and the moon keep their heavenly estate. The angels that were in the sky, they left their heavenly estate. They were disobedient. These two keep their heavenly estate. They do exactly what the Most High told them to do. Come on.
And all these rise, and all these, Uriel, the holy angel, who is the leader of them all, showed to me. Uriel is the angel, is also known as the messenger of light. So just so we know, talking about luminaries and his how we refer to him lines up with that. And all these, Uriel, the holy angel, who is the leader of them all, showed to me and their position. And I wrote down their positions as he showed them to me. And I wrote down their months as they were, and the appearance of their lights, till 15 days were accomplished. In single 7th parts, she accomplishes all her light in the east. And in single 7th parts, accomplishes all her darkness in the west. And in certain months, she alters her settings. And in certain months, she pursues her own